nosi. Tusang kajeno akibonili litla dikela. Oh no no. Get one li mujegulo la pella motila no si. Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh, Mitzi akai holding your eye.
Call the room to order. Thank you so much for your patience and for joining us today for the inaugural Sustainable Finance Summit and Catalyst Awards. My name is Victoria Rubadiri. I will be your MC and moderator for today. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to be joining you. Of course, today is a chance to talk about the state of sustainable finance in Kenya's banking industry. What are the challenges? What are the opportunities? But also to kind of think beyond the financial returns and what is the place of environmental and socioeconomic priorities for you on your sustainability journey as a business. Now, before we move on, let me take you through a few housekeeping items. If we can keep our phones on silent and also minimize movement as much as possible. I promise you, today will be worth your while. We're going to be here a couple of hours. So we also request, if you need use, of course, of the restrooms, head on outside. You'll see the ladies and the gents marked appropriately. Fantastic. So to open us up today, I'd like to invite our first speaker this morning. He was instrumental in steering and supporting KBA Secretariat in building capacity of banks. And this, of course, is through the SFI e-learning platform. He's none other than Mr. Raymond Molenje, acting CEO of the Kenya Banking Association. Let's give him a round of applause.
Good morning. Yeah, it's a pleasure to see you all here in this chilly Nairobi weather. It's actually part of the environment and sustainability journey that we are working in that by the time we leave here, the temperatures might be at 30. But when we came in, I think they were around 15. So a warm welcome to this summit. For the awards, we've been on the journey for quite a while, but for the summit, I know this is the very first time we are having it, so a very, very warm welcome. And even before I begin, for some of us in this room, I don't know if I'm the only one or there are a number of us who have ever in our lifetime drank clean water directly from the river. I don't know if there's any follower or I'm the only one. Yes, so there was a time we could actually drink water directly from clean water directly from the river. And we look forward through these discussions to be able to get there or get closer, even if it's not us, even our animals. We just need to ensure that when they are drinking the water, it's actually fit for their purpose, even if ourselves will not get closer to that reality again. So warm welcome, and as we discuss throughout this particular journey, let's try as much as possible, be real, come closer to our reality, in that we need to solve the problems that we have currently. And there are quite a number, and I think in the discussions, and even as we continue the discussion this morning, we'll be able to realize that our simple problems that we have, we just need to be able to sort them through this sustainability journey, looking at our environment, our people, and the planet as a whole, even as we push our journey on finances. So this morning, allow me to warmly welcome Rodney Omari, who is representing the PS Ministry of Environment and Climate Change. He'll tell us more about what they have in store for Nairobi River, because that's one river. I don't know if I'll say I look forward to drinking water directly from Nairobi River. So I know you signed performance contracts yesterday. So I hope if that was not part of the deliverables, I'll talk to the president so that we get to drink clean water from Nairobi River. Allow also to warmly welcome the IFC Regional Director, Madam Mary Potter. She'll also be able to tell us how she is interacting with our Nairobi environment, because I know she's not in that category of the people asking whether we've drank water directly from the river in Kenya here. Or she'll also be able to tell us whether she has ever drank water directly from a river in the other places she's been. Allow me to also warmly welcome our Kenya Bankers Association Vice Chair, Betty Korir, who is also the Chief Executive Officer of Credit Bank. And then also in the room, I know there's Jackson, the representative of WWF Kenya. We've been on this journey together, so thank you so much for being with us. Member Bank's CEOs, I saw there is Mr. Diambo from National Bank, the CEO of National Bank present, and all bank representative present, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to just be in this conversation, and for the association as KBA, our mandate is very simple. We bring all commercial banks together and select microfinance with the focus of just being able to ensure that we sustainably empower individuals and businesses within Kenya. That's what we do as KBA. We don't do the other things that you may think we do. Ours is just to ensure that individuals and businesses are empowered. And we do that, so when you see us talking about laws and regulations, it's aimed at empowering individuals. When you see us coming to Kenyans, businesses on the financial education journey, even what we have here is part of that. It's towards that. And then we also ensure that people, the personnel within banks, are actually better equipped to be able to serve our customers. And not just people, but also systems. So it's a pleasure to see that the room is full today, to be able to celebrate with banks on the journey that banks have actually walked on this sustainability journey. And as KBA, we've been leading the way because we've been on this journey for more than 10 years now. More specifically, in 2015, when we began the Sustainability Finance Initiative that we walked through up to now, made significant milestones. And what's happening within the ecosystem, even the droughts, the floods, food challenges, it's not a surprise to us as KB. It's things we had actually envisaged 10, 15 years ago and began working with banks along this particular journey. So today, we just meet here to be able to celebrate that particular journey that we've worked with banks. We'll be awarding the front runners, but all of us, we are still working together to ensure that we empower our people. And banks have a role to play, even as we prioritize returning, being able to work for our shareholders, get a return for our shareholders. We have a keen eye on the environment. We have a keen eye on the society and then the economy. And when you blend all those things, and even looking at our ecosystem where this year we've had the Gen Z challenges, it's just a cry that as a community we are crying that, hey, opportunities are not there and we need to do something to be able to provide opportunities. So as we sit here, we may be privileged, but it should bother us as to how we need to create more opportunities for our communities that we come from, our friends that we engage with, and matters environment and our survival is very key to be able to ensure that those opportunities come, and when they come, they're actually sustainable. So we have been with you on the SFI e-learning on sustainable finance. We've done quite well, not thanks to KBA, but thanks to all of you in the room, because this is powered by banks. We only coordinate from our space, but it's actually banks who do the actual training, the actual on-lending. So far, we've been able to train more than 50,000 bank staff. Some will ask me, why 50,000? And yet, when you look at central bank data, we only have 38,000 staff currently. It's a journey, 10 years. Some have transitioned out of banking into other ecosystems. And also, we are proud in that even as they transition, they can actually be able to carry the message along. So let's keep on that particular journey just to ensure that we become ambassadors within the industry and outside the industry to be able to ensure that even as manufacturers look up to us, the transport, construction, they look up to us, we can be able to provide the leadership. And then also just to mention that we've also been big in the green bonds space. So we are pioneers together with partners, Nairobi Securities Exchange. We also partnered with FSD Kenya, the Climate Bonds Initiative, and then also there was a Norwegian entity called FMO, where we supported the Capital Markets Authority to be able to come up with a framework. And the Kwetu apartments that you see looking very nice within Nairobi and its environments were part and parcel of this particular program, where the very first green bond was issued in East and Central Africa by Econ. And the proceeds went to constructing 5,000 hostels for students. And we all know in the news, I think 1 month ago, where that bond actually was paid before time. And with that development, actually more funding streamed in, and that program is actually moving on quite well. So even as banks, as government pushes on the affordable housing, there's a space we can be able to convert that into a green program. And we have the space to be able to shape and change that. Despite the teething problems, we can be able to, you have to look for crises and be able to look for opportunities within those crises. So we have a crisis in housing. We have a crisis with share and, is it SHIF or? So as banks, what opportunities are we looking at those crises that are happening? Currently, we have crises in our education system. So all those are matters that we need to come in a sustainable way and be able to see how we solve this problem here. So for the panelists, as you come here, please, and even Mary, please moderate your English, moderate the technical language on environment and sustainability. Let's solve our simple problems so that we can be able to help each other. Because when you speak to us very complicated English, you will force me to go to Google to be able to find out what the word means. And by the time I come back to where you are, I'll have missed part of your speech. So let's engage, look to solving simple problems within our ecosystems, but with a keen eye on helping individuals and businesses to be able to thrive. Then lastly, I'll just mention that as KBA, we are moving our SFI, our Inuka program to be able to, we are moving our Inuka program to be able now to expand the reach and then also be able to create more employment within that ecosystem. So what we've done is we've committed to government, because last month we had a session with His Excellency the President, and we committed that as banks, we are going to on lend to the tune of 150 billion Kenya shillings every year for the next 3 years, just to be able to ensure that we help small businesses, even informal businesses, to be able to grow. We've seen in Kenya business start small and remain small. So when the owner is sick, the business becomes sick. When the owner transitions, the business transitions. But that should not be the life cycle of our business. And in that scenario, we'll not be able to create employment. So we are looking forward, in partnership with banks, to force small businesses to grow, because they need to expand, create employment, and also help us so that for us who are in the room, we don't be the only ones to bear the tax burden. We need our small businesses to grow so that we can be able to collectively share in raising revenue for government and being able to make our development. So with that, I'll just still appreciate that. Thank you for coming, because I can see all the tables are full, I'm very excited and looking forward to the awards. We had 22 banks actually participating, so that just shows the level that we have 38 banks, 22 are proud to actually be able to compete and be able to demonstrate what they are doing within the sustainable finance space. So thank you so much, and wish you all the best. And even for the winners, as you celebrate, there's still a challenge of how are you improving. And for those who will not be so lucky to find themselves in 1, 2, 3, there's still room, and we are still on this, because this is also, we're on a sustainable journey, so we are not stopping today. 100 years to come, we'll still be here and still be in this competition. Yeah, so thank you so much. Okay.
Fantastic. One more round of applause for Raymond, setting the stage for us. Now to our next speaker, who was crucial in their support in funding the revamping of the Sustainable Finance Initiative Guiding Principles, that's IFC. I'd like to invite Mary Porter Peshka, IFC Regional Director, to make her remarks. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good morning, distinguished guests, partners, and colleagues. I'm American, so don't worry. I'm assured that I don't actually speak English, so hopefully you understand me. And Raymond, I have never drunk from a river anywhere I've lived in the world, and I'm using a paper speech, so I feel like I should start off by apologizing to the trees. But look, it's really great to see you all here today as we launch the updated Sustainable Finance Initiative Principles, a joint initiative of the Kenya Bankers Association and IFC. As you have already heard, we're here to also celebrate the significant progress made by Kenyan banks in integrating environmental, social, and governance principles into their operations and financing activities. And let me say upfront a special thanks to the government of Japan for funding the Kenya Integrated Environmental, Social, and Governance Program. Our gathering today is a significant milestone in our collective journey towards sustainable finance in Kenya. Since 2016, the Bankers Association has been at the forefront of building capacity within the banking sector to make financing decisions that positively impact the environment, economy, and society. Today, we're not just celebrating what we've achieved, we're also looking ahead to a future where sustainable finance is a key part of Kenya's banking industry. This summit gives us a great chance to, of course, launch the new report, introduce the Sustainable Finance Initiative, or SFI, guiding principles, connect with experts and discuss new ideas for sustainable finance, honor banks for their progress in sustainable finance with Kenya Bankers Association's SFI Catalyst Awards, and build capacity of banks and other financial sector players on adaptation, transition finance, and nature-positive financing. Kenyan banks have been applying the SFI principles since 2016. According to the association's 2020 report, over 52% of banks were on track with implementing the principles, while more than 47% were actively incorporating them into their daily operations. Driven by mounting international pressure from development finance institutions and financial regulators, it was necessary to update the SFI principles to align them with new local and international sustainability requirements and reporting standards, while accommodating institutional capacities. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the technical team from the Bankers Association, the member banks, and IFC colleagues for their tireless efforts in updating these principles. IFC and the Kenya Bankers Association expect banks to continue using the SFI principles as a comprehensive framework to enhance their operations and business practices towards sustainable finance. This encompasses integrating environmental, social, and governance risks with credit risk assessment and decision-making processes, enhancing institutional capacity through staff training and robust governance structures, demonstrating market leadership by driving innovation in sustainable financial products, ensuring regulatory compliance with evolving sustainability regulations and international standards while supporting national climate commitments. The SFI principles for Kenyan banks are important for a number of reasons. They promote financing for renewable energy, energy efficiency, sustainable agriculture, and other eco-friendly projects. They encourage banks to support projects that enhance social inclusion, gender equality, affordable housing, healthcare, and education. They help banks manage environmental and social risks, making informed decisions to protect financial stability. And I think adhering to these principles helps boost the regulation of banks and builds trust with customers, investors, regulators. It allows banks to attract investment from those prioritizing strong environmental, social, and governance performance, and helps banks meet regulatory requirements and avoid penalties, creates opportunities for innovative financial products and services, such as green financing and microfinance for underserved communities. By adopting these principles, Kenyan banks can contribute to the country's sustainable development agenda and position themselves as leaders in responsible banking practices. As we progress in our engagements, it's important to recognize the evolving landscape of the banking sector. Traditionally focused on profitability and risks, financial institutions are now recognizing the systemic risks posed by climate and sustainability issues. This shift is driven by climate challenges, a focus on sustainability, and the need for social inclusion. Environment, social, and governance principles now provide a framework for assessing an institution's environmental and social impact and governance quality. This summit highlights the momentum in Kenya's banking sector towards sustainability, reflecting our commitment to shaping a resilient, inclusive, and environmentally conscious financial landscape. I look forward to engage actively in sharing the experiences to explore opportunities and challenges in sustainable finance. I thank the Kenya Bankers Association and IFC for updating the SFI principles and reaffirm IFC's commitment to supporting Kenya's financial sector. And I thank you all for your attention. Together, we're building a stronger, more sustainable future for Kenya's banking sector and beyond. Thank you. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Mary, and the continued support of IFC in this journey. Our next speaker has been extremely pivotal in working together with the Governing Council when it comes to steering the KBA Secretariat to advance sustainable finance practices. There's none other than Betty Korir, who is the KBA Governing Council Vice Chair and Credit Bank CEO. Let's give her a warm round of applause as she comes up.
Thank you so much, Rubadiri, and good morning, everyone. I think just to start off, I just want us to observe a minute of silence. You are aware that we lost Nuru Mugambi. So I want us to observe this moment to remember Ms. Nuru, who is the former Director of Communication and Public Affairs of Kenya Bankers Association. For 10 years, Nuru played a pivotal role at KBA, leading transformative initiatives that did not only shape the future of the banking industry, but also had lasting impact globally. Her leadership in projects such as Banking Industry, Sustainable Finance Initiative, and Persons with Disability Initiative was instrumental in driving positive change and inclusivity within the sector. As she transitioned to pursue graduate studies in 2021, she left behind a legacy of passion, vision, and unwavering commitment to the transformation of the financial landscape. Her contributions will continue to inspire We extend our deepest condolences as KBA and the banking fraternity as a whole to her family, friends, and all who had the privilege of working with her. Her dedication and leadership will not be forgotten. Rest in peace. So may we now observe the 1 minute of silence. All right, thank you very much. So I stand here to really represent the KBA, Kenya Banking Association fraternity. We identify ourselves with the banking industry, sustainable finance, the SFI. We are thankful for the partners in the room, that is WWF, IFC, GIZ. And I think I'll just go ahead and make my remarks at this point. Rodri Omari, representing the PS Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, the IFC Director, Mary Potter, the Acting KBA Chief Executive Officer, Raymond Molenja, WWF, Kenya Head of Conservation, Jackson Kiplakat, Member Banks, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. So thank you, Raymond, for the very warm introduction and for giving me the opportunity to represent the KBA at this point. I just want to make a few remarks, and I think to start with is that as the Vice Chair of the Kenya Bankers Association, I'm genuinely glad to be here at this inaugural gathering, and I hope that you will not hold it against me if I declare not just one, but two interest here. And of course, from the outset, it's important that I do that. I would wish to not to belabor the point that, but as a woman, I am particularly partial to the subject of advancing sustainable finance. And a bank CEO as well, the prospect of Catalyst Awards excites my competitive spirit, and unlike the famous line from Marlon Brando in the film Before the Godfather, it is not that I could have been a contender. On the contrary, I declare myself a contender. But I've already practiced my smile to accept clapping if we do not win anything. That's on a light note. So we are proud, actually, as an industry, to showcase the progress made by the industry in advancing sustainable finance practices. And yes, this event underscores the importance of leveraging on the strength of the financial sector to advance Africa's sustainable economic growth as the world grapples with climate change and environmental degradation, social inequality, and financial inclusion. The role of the industry and businesses in driving sustainable growth has never been more critical than now. Sustainable business models, green financing, as mentioned by Raymond and the IFC Director, are not mere trends, but they are essential pathways to ensuring long-term economic stability and environmental stewardship. Sadly, ladies and gentlemen, the scale of the negative impacts of the climate change threatens Africa's ability to sustain itself in the long term. From a continent standpoint, we do recognize and appreciate that transitioning into low-carbon economy is not only inevitable, but urgent. I think over the past few years, we've seen extreme weather changes. Heat waves, cold waves, call it everything, flooding. We saw flooding in Kenya, and we didn't expect that those kind of situations would actually come in it just speaks to what should be more critical and what we need to keep, even as an industry, as top of agenda because of its dire implication. And that's why engagements such as these are critical if we are to systematically chart the way forward in facilitating the rise of the country's green economy, estimated to require 600 billion worth of capital investments annually. And I know mobilizing such billions is not a small feat, but I'm optimistic that we can explore the innovative green instruments to achieve this. I think a case in point is the Kwetu, and I know quite a number that actually NSC are looking at this point. The other thing as well is whenever we try to tap into green financing, it comes at considerable low cost. So it's a worthwhile initiative. I'm glad that KPA has been at the forefront in this initiative to reposition itself to be socially, environmentally, and economically responsible as a measure towards ensuring long-term business success. Though through its sustainable finance initiative, I'm glad to see that the efforts are borne fruit. I think it's up here where it is noted that 93% of the banks are committed. I did hear that 52% are on track. I think we are not doing well. We could do better there. And small wonder then that only half of the population of bankers dare put in their bid to getting the awards today. So it implies that there's much more ground that needs to be covered. As a result of the Sustainable Finance Initiative, Kenya as a country is ranked by IFC Sustainable Banking Network, that's SBFN, to be at the advancing sub-stage of the implementation of the progression matrix. This can be attributed to the industry's implementation of the Sustainable Finance Initiative, guiding principles which have been revamped, again with the support of the partners in the room. Please clap for the partners in the room. Additionally, SPFN is also recognized the impressive reach in KBA's Sustainable Finance Initiative. You've heard about the online training and the introduction of the green bond programs, which has enabled the first green bond issuance, by the way, in East and Central Africa. So ladies and gentlemen, as I reflect on the challenges we've encountered and milestones realized, I'm deeply appreciative of the support of the association has received from the member banks, and I know there are a number of CEOs in the room, particularly the executives and the human resource personnel, the sustainability champions who have seen a number in the room as well, who have tirelessly and indirectly promoted the uptake of the SFI e-learning. I wish to commend them and encourage them to remain steadfast in advocating for the agenda. I think as I close, I want to say that as we move forward, we've today shaped the future of sustainable finance in Kenya. I encourage all of us to be deeply entrenched with the insights and pay attention to the insights that will come in from the presenters and the panelists, and the perspective and contribution will add value. Thank you all, and I look forward to a fruitful conversation and enjoy the session.
Thank you so much, Betty, and also for elevating the memory of Nuru. I think it's safe to assume that everyone in this room, in some shape or form, interacted with her and can attest to the light that she was. And I think that is all the more reason to continue that legacy that she stood for. So thank you once again for that. Now to our keynote address this morning, I'd like to invite Mr. Rodney Omari from the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, who will be speaking on behalf of the PS, Dr. Festus Ngeno. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes up. The floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Rodney Omari. Representing the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, State Department for Environment and Climate Change. In the ministry, we have two state departments. The other one is forestry. For those of you who have not read the executive order, you know, that's how government is organized. Thank you, the organizers, Kenya Bankers Association, IFC, all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen representing all the banking fraternity here, and the partners, development partners, members of the Fourth Estate. Once again, good morning. It's good to be joining you here because it's good for government to engage with the people who actually matter. You know, people think government has the money, but actually the money is domiciled in the banks. And I was once told that that money is not in the bank, it's working somewhere. So you're only trying to harness and make sure that you offer the products, the solutions for sustainable development. And it's good to know that the issue of sustainable financing initiatives came up in 2015. I'm going to read the remarks as per the PS, but I wanted to just, I think there was a challenge that was sent by the CEO, and he said that, have you taken water directly from the river recently? I have myself, which means that it's good to travel around the country. There are places that are untouched, and they offer that pristine, environment, it's pristine ecosystem. And all that we are trying to do here is trying to sustain whatever development that comes out of this country. We also need to sustain the environment, making sure that where it comes from, you do what? You make sure that it can give back. I remember when I was growing up, sorry, I'll have to give this small anecdote. When I was growing up, and there is this practice of course, we loved mushrooms. It's a very nice delicacy, but you have to be careful which one you pick. But when you get the right mushroom, it's believed that when you get it out, you have to pluck a piece of it and take it back to the hole that you uprooted it from, so that it can grow again. So that tomorrow, you'll get what? You'll get another mushroom. And of course, the following morning, and you have to wake up very early, otherwise your neighbor would be passing there and get the mushroom. Because it's all for free, it just means that it's an abundance of nature. And that practice of, you remove something and you take it back to the soil, I think it kind of, encapsulates the essence of sustainable living. I can't call it development then, but it's just sustainable living. And going back to the Nairobi River, of course the government has already committed, and the president has led from the front to commit that in 2 years' time. I can't promise about taking the water directly from the river and drinking it, because growing up I was always told to boil the water. But it's a commitment to make sure that we have the rivers feeding the Nairobi rivers become clean again, and because it's a duty. When you are building a dam down south at the the intersection of the Kitui and Makueni counties in Tuake Dam. I think it's in the upwards of 80 billion. That dam is going to be fed from water coming from Nairobi. You might think you are giving the people of Kitui and Makueni a good service by building them a big dam. But if you don't clean the river upstream, then it means you do what? You're actually poisoning them. So afadhali hiyo ikae. So as government, we have committed that as we do the infrastructure, making sure that the dam is up and running, and of course it's a multi-purpose dam, meaning it's supposed to sustain the agricultural, the livestock, the domestic, needs of the community around there. We also make sure that the waters coming from upstream Nairobi are clean. But I don't know how many of us here know the source of Nairobi River. It's a swamp called Oniri, just about Kikuyu there. And I think a few years ago, 3 years ago, the government committed to, return that swamp back to its, original state. And to that end, the Treasury has committed money to sustaining that, making sure that we protect it together with the environment sector players. Of course, the county of Kiambu is there. And all this is to make sure that the source of the rivers is very much protected, much as the causeway is protected. But of course, there are challenges, legal and practical, political challenges. People are living next to the rivers, what you call the riparian zones. And of course, it's the role of government to protect people from themselves. Sometimes we just want to live next to the river, and we wonder why the government is in trouble or troubling them, removing them from the river causeways. Of course, we lost so many lives earlier this year because of the floods, which is, of course, the vagaries of climate change, which is another thing that, of course, you here as the sector players in the environment, in the banking, also need to look at. So as we are building those beautiful apartments, we make sure that they are not on, on those riparian zones. But of course, the challenge with environmental, practices around the environment, sometimes we use esoteric language, yani big words. What is carbon market, carbon credit, green bonds, and all that. It is upon us to make sure that, and I'm happy that you've been training people, that we demystify some of these terms so that people know that it is the things that we used to do, like that issue of the mushroom. It is those things that we were used to doing that we've just, maybe my grandmother doesn't know that something about sustainable, whatever, but she knows that whenever you get the mushroom, you have to give it back. Whenever you have, you're going in as a visitor in any home, in a traditional African homestead, they slaughter for you a chicken. But as a visitor, there is a chicken hovering around there, a cat, a dog. If you don't throw something to that dog, or that chicken, are you sustaining this home and whatever that was done to make sure that this meal is on the table? So it's essential. And actually, there is also beliefs around that, and of course we have to look back at our traditional knowledge. If you don't give the dog that keeps looking at you when you are eating, you'll have a boil on your eye. So every time I had a boil in my eye, someone told me, you never gave the dog what you are eating. So it's all about sustainability. And of course, banking is about growing money, so to speak. So as you grow the money, try to make sure that a bit of it, a portion of it, goes back to where it came from, the ground, so that you can sustain this. And that is why I'm happy. Other than environment, banks have been very instrumental in, offering scholarships to students, either in high school, in universities, in tertiary institutions, in research, to try to also make sure that they sustain the future, because they are the future that we yearn for. So I want to associate myself with the commitment by the president and my cabinet secretary that the Nairobi River will be clean. We are in the process. We've employed 10,000 youth in what we call the climate works. That is about the physical, cleaning up the river. But of course, downstream, we will want to add another 10,000 to make it 20,000 youth in Nairobi. And of course, a similar number, 10,000, every county for the 47 or for the 46 remaining counties by next year. So that is a commitment, and that should go on for the next 2 years to make sure that at the end of the 2 years, we have a clean Nairobi. But of course, it's upon us to make sure that we sustain it to the level that we have those pristine rivers and pristine environment that my friend here, Mary, said that she loves Nairobi. It's our duty to make sure that she keeps loving Nairobi. She keeps loving Nairobi and maybe move the IFC headquarters, not just the regional headquarters, but the IFC headquarters to Nairobi, just like we have the environmental program for the United Nations being, of course, housed here in Nairobi. So, ladies and gentlemen, those were my sides. I represent the cabinet secretary and the principal secretaries, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, and allow me to stand on the protocols already established and go on to read the remarks that were done for the principal secretary, Engineer Dr. Festus Ngeno, in this KBA Banking Industry Sustainable Finance Summit and Awards this day, Wednesday, 20th of November. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to join you today at the Bankers Association Banking Industry Sustainable Finance Summit and Awards, held under the theme Striving Towards a Resilient, Green, and Sustainable Banking Industry. This event is significant to our Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry for 3 reasons. The summit provides a vital platform to reignite the conversation on mobilizing green financing, an essential tool in tackling the pressing climate challenges that threaten our future. Additionally, it fosters collaboration between financial institutions, policymakers, and environmental agencies, creating a unified front to align banking practices with the national policies like the National Climate Change Action Plan, that's NCCAP. For those ones who live in the environment sector, these are the terms they are used to. National Climate Action Plan. It's like a medium-term plan, but in the climate sector. 2023 to 2027. And you can see it's well aligned with the MTP4, the medium-term plan, the 4th one. Of course, that is part of our Vision 2030. Moreover, the Catalyst Awards play a pivotal role in recognizing and incentivizing impactful environmental and social governance practices which align with the ministry's priorities. As we reflect on the remarkable progress of the banking industry in sustainable finance, ladies and gentlemen, we are reminded of our individual and collective tools, or collective roles in championing and catalyzing a sustainable future. These efforts cross-cut several critical areas that are fundamental to the attainment of this mission. First, addressing Kenya's climate financing needs is essential. With National Climate Change Action Plan, estimating an annual requirement of, she said, 600 billion. It's actually 844 billion. It is clear that innovative financing mechanisms are vital to meet this challenge. Leveraging public-private partnerships, green bonds, and sustainability-linked loans can unlock the resources needed to drive Kenya towards a low-carbon and climate-resilient future. We need to demystify what this all means. It's easy to say low-carbon and climate-resilient future. And that's where sometimes the banks come and you're giving loans to somebody to buy solar panels, sustainable way of agriculture, and making sure that you are not adding to the carbon footprint, but actually you are reducing it, planting trees and all that. Equally important is a commitment to protecting biodiversity and ecosystem services. Kenya's forests, waterways, and other natural resources are the backbone of the nation's social and economic well-being. However, threats such as deforestation, land degradation, and pollution jeopardize these critical ecosystems. Sustainable finance initiatives that prioritize agriculture, forestry, and water conservation play a crucial role in preserving biodiversity and enhancing resilience to climate change. Sustainable agriculture is another pillar of our collective efforts. As the backbone of Kenya's economy, agriculture supports millions of livelihoods. Yet its limited access to financial resources. I don't know about this figure I have, but with only 3.5% of the total loans going to the sector, it hampers its potential. So I don't know if it's true, it is only 3.5, and if it is, we really need to do more. In this regard, directing financial resources to climate-smart agriculture can boost food security, increase yields, and safeguard natural resources like soil and water. Financial institutions have an opportunity to design tailored products that empower farmers and agribusiness to adopt sustainable practices. Innovation in green technologies represents a pivotal area of focus. Kenya's reputation as a leader in innovation extends naturally to green solutions such as renewable energy, water conservation technologies, and climate-smart agricultural tools. Financial institutions are key players in funding these advancements and collaborating with innovators to expand their impact. By fostering these initiatives, Kenya can unlock a future powered by clean energy and sustainable practices. And lastly, integrating sustainability into policies and banking practices is equally critical. Frameworks like the Green Economic Strategy, of course you'll see that, and the National Climate Action Plan provide a roadmap for this integration. However, challenges remain in ensuring coherence and standardization across financial and regulatory systems. Collaborative efforts between the government and financial institutions are essential in creating an environment that encourages sustainable investments and aligns banking practices with national goals. Before I close, it's good to see that over the past few years that we've been on this road to heal the world in terms of greening the world. The banks have really played a crucial role in driving our efforts forward. I don't want to name names, but when you invest in greening the country, planting trees, growing trees, fruit trees, and of course, making sure that we are we sustain our food basket, and making sure that our customers, that is the citizens of this country and the residents of this country, are living within a very clean, green, sustainable environment, is of course to make sure that you will have customers going forward. Sustainability is a very wide subject. And it's not just about planting trees and all that, but it's just making sure that the earth that we bequeathed, and we have to make sure that we give a very good or even better world to the future generation, is kept in a good way. And, we shouldn't be disturbing so much the natural environment, because the human being, the human nature, we love nature in a way that some of us who live in the city, in the bustling, very city environment, may not actually appreciate the pristine and therapeutic nature of or healing, capacity of nature. If you have a very toxic work environment, I dare you, just go to the river, take a fishing rod. I don't know if you'll catch any fish, but and I used to wonder why those, Europeans or Americans go fishing. And once they catch the fish, they return it back to the river. And what vanity. The point is that he's not there to catch fish. It's a very healing process when you're trying to wait on that, fish to catch on the bait. You can wait on there 3 minutes, 30 minutes, or whichever, however long, you can catch a big fish. I never see them taking the fish back to the home, but they take the fish back to the water. But it is not about the, throwing the fish back into the water, but the healing nature of just hearing that water flowing across the river. And the calmness that it brings to yourself, to your body. It teaches you patience, which is a virtue that I've learned that Muslims, value very much. It's about patience. And humbling you, which is also another virtue that I worked with the Muslims. It also humbles you. So that humbling nature of nature is what we all need. You will have less conflict with the people, with nature, among ourselves, and even within ourselves. So I challenge you. Of course, we have done so many bad things to nature, but it is not too late. The government is putting in policies to make sure that we get that act together, but we cannot do it alone because we have to do it as a whole of government, whole of society approach. And in closing, allow me to call upon all of you to be our ambassadors in championing for sustainable practices. We are safer pulling in the same direction. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One more round of applause for Mr. Rodney Omari, ably representing the PS. A strong case has been made for rivers. I never knew they could be that therapeutic. So I think I need to find a river near me to deal with the toxicity of the office. Now we're going to segue into a presentation. We've heard a lot about the revamping of the SFI guiding principles. What is it all about? What did it entail? So our next speaker or presenter is Rose Lumumba, Corporate Governance Specialist at IFC, who will take us through that portion of the program. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, Vicky, for that very warm welcome. I worked before in government, and it was really important that you observe protocol. And so I observe all the protocols that have been set out here today. I'm just hiding behind that, so in case I make a mistake. And a mistake in government was truly a mistake, and you are sanctioned for it. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to now lead you to the next session, where we are going to talk about that partner that we will have as banks to help us integrate sustainability and sustainable practices in our day-to-day running of the banks. Jerome, please, I forgot the clicker over there at the table, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. So as Vicky has said, my name is Rose Lumumba, a friend to the banks in Kenya, and having worked in the financial sector for a good part of my career life. And I want to say a very special thank you to Kenya Bankers Association for reaching out to the IFC and asking us to help them update the sustainable principles. And so I'm going to have a very brief presentation on what the principles are and how the banks can use them to begin, for those banks that have not begun integrating sustainability practices in their day-to-day running of the banks, and for those that have already begun to enhance them. If you look at the figure right there, 80% of the banks in Kenya have begun or are in the process of implementing an ESMS. The ESMS is that partner that helps you to integrate environmental, social, and governance issues in your banks and ensure that every department in your bank is actually participating. So with these new revamped principles, I am hoping that by next year, when we will have the summit again, we will have gone to 80%. To 100%, from 80 to 100%. Mary also gave you some statistics on from the 2020 report on where we are in our sustainability journey as banks. We're hoping that we will move all those figures, and I don't want to repeat them, to 100% by next year. And so this is your partner, the person or the item or the tool that is going to help you integrate sustainability practices in your day-to-day running of the bank. And so this is just the agenda that I'm going to quickly run through. I will give you the background to the program of update, and then I will talk about the journey that we had together. Then we will talk about the industry impact and the next steps for the banks in Kenya. And so before that, the IFC has an integrated environmental, social, and governance program for this nation. And that program supports various sectors. Number one, we are working with regulators to develop policy, to come up with laws, as well as raise awareness on those laws and help the various segments in practicing them. And I'm just going to give you a few examples. For example, we are working with NEMA, and I'm sure the ministry will be very happy to know that they are going to write out guidelines for the manufacturing sector, for the affordable housing sector, and agribusiness. And those are the sectors that really interact with the environment a lot. And so they will be guiding the companies on how to integrate good ESG practices in their day-to-day running of the businesses. We are also working in the financial sector, of course, with the Kenya Bankers Association, Nairobi Securities Exchange, the CMA, to revamp their laws and their practices and also raise awareness and capacity build on how to integrate good ESG practices. Finally, of course, the IFC is the private, the one that invests the private money for the group, the World Bank Group. And so we are supporting our investee clients in having good ESG practices and trying to create best-in-class companies that we can all emulate as we work in our businesses. And so the updating journey, I've just given you that picture right there of some of the people that worked on it. So what we did is that we reached out to the banks, and the banks gave us their technical staff to come and work with us to ensure that we have principles that speak to the banks, that banks can use, that they can integrate into their day-to-day businesses. And so that's part of our team at the IFC offices. And so why did we need the update? Number one, you know that we had the principles in 2015, And I have to say congratulations to the Kenya Bankers Association because they were the pioneer, not only in the region, but also in the continent. And so after 2015, lots of development came into play in the legal area as well as in the international sphere. And I'll be telling you a little bit about it. And in the legal sphere, we had our regulator, the Central Bank of Kenya, coming up with the climate guidelines, which required banks to report on how they interact with climate and what their impact is. And we worked very closely with Kenya Bankers Association to come up with a reporting template, but we have also taken part of those requirements into the principles. By the way, the principles are really just a guide, a partner to the banks, helping them know where to begin, how to integrate, how to practice, and finally, how to report. And of course, there was lots of development also from the listed industry, the securities industry. The Capital Markets Authority revamped its laws with ESG. The Nairobi Securities Exchange revamped its guidelines with ESG requirements. And so Kenya Bankers asked, how do we assist our banks to integrate, put together all those laws and requirements in a document that can guide them day to day? So we considered that in the guidelines. Finally, there were several developments in the international sphere. Number one, you can see that we had lots of global standards coming into play, setting goals, and of course, Kenya being a global market, and having opened our market, so these standards affect us. The representative from the ministry has just told us about our roadmap and the commitments that Kenya made. So we looked at that as we revamped so that we could have guidelines that could really guide everyone. The other thing that happened in the banking industry, of course, you know, the banking sector is the most regulated industry world over, not only here in Kenya. For example, here in Kenya, you know, banks are regulated under the Companies Act because they are set up as companies in Kenya. Number two, they are regulated under the central bank law. Thirdly, if a bank is listed, now you get the capital markets law, the requirements from the Nairobi Securities Exchange. So without overstating that point, banks are the most regulated. Not only here, everywhere. And so several standards came up, and I'm sure you are aware. We are right now talking about the IFRS standards that we have decided as a nation to take up. Our roadmap for our adaptation was just inaugurated last week. And so many other standards on the banking sector came up. People are talking about taxonomy, which is a big thing. I know we were guided by Raymond not to use big words, but we can't avoid these words because we live in a world where these big words are used. And so we are working on that. There is guidance on that. And so that taxonomy came up. I'm sure we are leaning a lot to the European Bank. I've seen a lot of that in this nation. And so we considered what it would be like because we wanted, and KBA wanted the banks to be ahead before the regulator rings the bell and says, now you have to comply or apply the standards that they have set. And so we considered all those issues and revised the 2015 principles. And really, the principles were just revised, as you can see in those slides. You can see on your left, on my right, the various revisions that we made on the titles of the principles. The principles are available on the website of the KBA. You can interact with them. But really, it is to incorporate the latest international standards on best practices, and also to put in governance, leadership, to ensure that the environmental, social, and corporate governance risks don't fall on our banks. So I will take you through principle by principle, one by one. I will not go to the details, but I will just speak very, very high level on what we did on the principles. So principle number one, the name now changed to financial returns versus sustainable economic viability. And really, it is guiding the banks on how to have a bank-wide integration of ESG practices. It is not about the Department of ES or ESG or risk management. It is really about that integration being in all departments, because all departments in one way or the other interact with environmental issues, social issues, and corporate governance issues. And so the advice there, or the provision, is to have it at the top. The commitment of the board is very important, because if the board is committed, it means that the entire bank will be committed, provided for strategic planning and having your business model that really speaks to you being a practitioner in good ESG. So principle number two, titled Growth Through Financial Inclusion and Innovation, really challenging us as the banks to move our businesses and our products more widely, to ensure that we include it in our strategy. We have products that are innovative and reach out to the entire populace and even move outside beyond the Kenyan markets. As I said before, this is available on the KBA website. Please, I would encourage all the bankers present and those outside to ensure that they read it and understand it. Principle number three, managing sustainability risks and impact in lending and investment, because those are the two key, works of a bank: lending, investing, being that organization that takes our deposits. And so, just to ensure that that risk does not crystallize, we have provided for how you can have good risk management, how you can set up your risk framework, how you can then have your ESRS or ESMS that I've just referred to over here, and ensure that your risk is properly managed. And by the way, we had this before, but we have just revamped it to ensure that it is wide enough and the instruction is accommodative enough to help the people already practicing good ESG to move forward, and those that have not begun to begin their journey. The fourth one is, of course, speaking to the resource scarcity, operational sustainability, and integration, and really speaking to what our keynote speaker referred to, that resources are scarce. We have very limited resources in this world. And so therefore, as bankers, as you do your day-to-day, run your businesses day-to-day, to ensure that you are efficient in your resource mobilization and use, to ensure that your employees are well taken care of, they know their rights and their obligations, and even the people who supply you, the supply chain, etc., and to also have integrity and ensure that you comply with regulation. Actually, yesterday I was in Kigali, and I had kind of like a similar running for the banks, awareness raising in readiness to their own launch of the ESG guidelines next week. And they really spoke about integrity and the need for them to ensure that they comply with regulatory requirements, because they said their greatest nightmare is not to have a license to operate. And I think that's the greatest nightmare for any bank, just because you are not complying with requirements from the regulator. The second last principle is on sustainability management and governance, which really recommends practices around sustainability values, the role of the board, minds what the board should do for the bank, including having right policies in place, ensuring that management is practicing what the board has resolved should be the standard for the bank. Stakeholder management, it's very key to ensure that your stakeholders are managed well, you know who they are and what their needs are, and you feed to their needs in your day-to-day running of the bank. The role of management, of course, cannot be understated, because management is really key in terms of implementing good ESG practices. Diversity and competencies from the beginning, from the top, having a board that is diversified, a management that is also diversified, and to ensure that then there is good leadership being done. Capacity building, as has been mentioned by the keynote speaker, cannot be overstated. It is important that we all understand what this ESG is all about, what good ESG practices are, and how we can integrate them to our day-to-day running of the banks. And of course, internal controls. Banks are about money, and businesses are about money. And so internal controls, just referring to those systems and tools that you put in place to ensure that your money and your investments are properly ring-fenced. And of course, being sure that you know your responsibilities, and of course you report well. Now, we introduced one last principle. We didn't have it in 2015, and that's principle number 6, transparency, disclosure, and verification. It is important that we as banks begin reporting, and I'm very aware that banks in Kenya, several of them are doing sustainability reporting very well. But also, several have not begun that journey. So this principle number 6 is to help those who have not begun reporting on what they're doing, or what they're not doing, or the strategy that they have put in place to ensure that they are interacting well with the environment. And so this guidance is for that purpose. So it really, principle number 6, to support sustainability or sustainable development, sustainable finance, and also to ensure that management and governance of sustainability is there in our strategy, in our risk profiles and risk management, and we measure it well and we report it. I keep telling people I interact with is that if you don't report about yourself, certainly somebody will report about you. They will make an opinion about you. And so this is an opportunity for all banks to be encouraged to report. It actually, under this principle, we integrated what IFRS is recommending for the banks here. We know about IFRS 1 and 2. We are all talking about it. ISPAC has come up with a working committee that is composed of regulators, market players, the big 4 audit firms, etc. And they've set a roadmap for us to integrate IFRS into our work day by day. And so what would be the impact of integrating or using these principles? We expect, as Mary said in our speech, that all banks are going to read the revised principles, understand them, and by God's grace, apply them. Because it's important that we apply them into our day-to-day running of the bank. So we hope that once we integrate them, we will have improved ESG risk management. Number 2, we will bridge the gap between sustainability integration among the banks. Remember the statistics that you were given. We will actually close that gap and get everybody practicing good ESG. Then we will have an increased number of financial institutions using the SFI principles. And finally, we will, of course, begin seeing many more reports on sustainability, and for those who are reporting an improvement in their reports. The IFC has got a tool, a transparency and disclosure toolkit, which is available for free on our website. You can interact with it if you need to, or you can reach out to us and we will point you in the direction where it is. Now, so what are our next steps? In 2016, we created an online learning platform where banks, at their own pace, at their own time, can learn on the SFI principles. And so we are going to revamp also or update those learning materials so that now they are ESG. Remember, the 2015 was more leaning toward corporate governance, but now we are going to have it on ESG. So we will let you know, KBA will let you know when that is done, and you can begin interacting with the new learning materials. And we also would do awareness raising amongst banks, face-to-face awareness raising that will be organized by KBA, and KBA will let you know when the dates of those trainings will be. Finally, I would like to say a very special thanks. Obviously, I stand here as the lead of the team that revised the principles, but I did not do the work by myself. There are several people who worked on this revising, and I'd like to recognize Jerome, our consultant. Yeah, Jerome, maybe you can just stand up and show. Yeah, so Jerome was our lead consultant, and Christine Buru as well. Christine is sitting right there. She's our ESG expert. And the entire working group. Working group, where are you? Yeah, please stand up. So these are representatives from the banks. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the good work that you did. And so now we are going to unveil the updated principles, and I feel very excited. I hope you can see my smile. I feel very excited. So those are the names of the people. And so I am going to ask our communications team to lead us in that. If you please could play the video to do the unveiling, and I will ask you to upload. Thereafter, I am going to ask that the keynote speakers, all of them, to come forward for the unveiling photo. But the greatest gift that you can give the IFC and the KBA is for you to use the principles. So we look forward to your gift. A time like now next year, we shall evaluate it and see how rich it is. Thank you very much. I feel very excited. In my younger life, I would have broken into a dance. But because my regional director is here and don't know the consequences back in the office, allow me not to do it. So please come to the front, our keynote speaker, Mr. Omari, my director, Ms. Mary Potapeshka, our KBA vice chair, please come forward. Raymond, please come forward. Our partners, the WWF rep, the GIZ rep, please do come forward so that we can do the unveiling.
SFI working group members, I beg your pardon, kindly make your way up on stage. SFI working group members, kindly make your way up on stage as we commemorate this occasion. So if you can move center stage a bit more so we can get a perfect shot. Center stage, thank you so much. And we can have the working group come around as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You may have your seats. One more round of applause. The official unveiling of the SFI guiding principles that hopefully will bring more accountability to the banking industry when it comes to sustainability. Right. We're about to segue into our second presentation of the day to take a look at the landscape report on sustainable finance in Kenya's banking industry. I'd like to invite Dr. Samuel Njoroge from Azul to take us through that before we also unveil that report as well. The floor is yours, Dr. Njoroge. Let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way up.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed because Rose has set the precedent to make sure that nobody is left. I'm Samuel Njoroge. My work is very easy. I will not take very long. Is to do a presentation on the landscape of sustainable finance in the Kenya's banking industry, which I had the honor to lead among team members who are here today. So this report was commissioned by the Kenya Bankers Association and with the support of the Worldwide Fund Kenya, Africa Sustainable Infrastructure and Investment Program, and we at Azul Canopies led the study. Why was it done? It was informed by the need to establish the state of play in sustainable finance. We did several things, as you will see in the next slide. We had interviews with the banks, we ran a survey through KBA, and we reviewed a lot of literature, including all the sustainable finance principles and the various standards across the globe. And out of these, we combined it into a report. So mine is just to give you a very high level highlight of what we came up with. You can take time to deep dive into the report, which is available with KBA. So as you can see at the Kenya level, the study found that the socioeconomic landscape, as depicted by the various global indices, presents a challenging yet opportune canvas for sustainable finance. What the indices highlight is that there are pressing issues which I think the speakers ahead of me have alluded to, such as severe hunger, biodiversity loss, stark inequality in our country, vulnerability to climate change, and an urgent need for green growth. However, these challenges, on the other hand, can be seen as opportunities. They present the country with a chance to commit more on sustainable finance, and for our survival and progress, we have no choice. So coming to the Kenya's banking industry, this is what we found out from the study. that the banking industry, as has been mentioned, has made quite great advances in adopting sustainable reporting standards and the climate-related risk guidelines, including what has been issued by the Central Bank of Kenya. And there is a marked increase in innovative climate green finance products by banks and microfinance institutions. As a former banker, I can confirm that, because when I was in banking, even the word sustainability was not heard across banks. But right now, at least, if you mention sustainability, everybody has an idea what it means. However, the study found that there remain significant data limitations and gaps, one due to lack of a central database that can provide comprehensive sustainable finance data. I think that is the direction to which we are moving to. And of course, a significant number of banks, as has been mentioned here, do not publish integrated or separate sustainability reports. And those that publish, of course, apply different standards that were listed there by laws, and that makes comparability from the accounting point of view difficult. In a high level, these are the findings, because as part of the study, we ran a survey, a voluntary survey to all the banks, and 93% of the surveyed banks indicated they are committed to supporting the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals in Kenya. That's quite impressive. 80% of banks said they are actively monitoring the macroeconomic impact on their bank's performance, including future impact. All the banks, 100%, indicated that they factor in economic viability in their credit analysis and decision-making process. Slightly lower, 87%, indicated that their credit policy ensures responsible and sustainable lending. I think other banks also indicated that they leverage technology and digital platforms to open new markets and reach the underserved and the unserved markets. Also, all the banks surveyed actively engage in supporting minority groups, including persons with disability, indigenous people, women, youth, and all the others for inclusion. 87% of the surveyed banks are actively involved or involve their board of directors in overseeing the bank's sustainability agenda, and 80% of the banks indicated that they have implemented ESMS to guide their operation, that is the Environmental and Social Management System or Framework. 67% of the banks also told us that they have established a system for monitoring and evaluating operations and lending, focusing on environmental and social footprint. I think that was the lowest of all the indicators that we were tracking through the survey. So what are the barriers and that we picked and opportunities? Just highlighting them is that there is need for more targeted alignment of banking sector lending practices with the government climate action plans, as has been mentioned by the keynote speaker, including the National Climate Change Action Plan and the Nationally Determined Contribution, among other policies and plans. And that, of course, double reporting, especially for listed banks, as Lowe's had alluded to, pose a challenge, emphasizing the need for standardization. Then the green and sustainability link boards is one of the issues that we were tracking, and banks said that the insurance costs are high, which is a disincentive to the issuers. What are the opportunities? Opportunities ideally lie in all sectors for crucial for sustainability, including agriculture, without forgetting that our economy is agricultural based, energy and energy efficiency, and water, where increased financing could yield significant sustainable growth benefits. Of course, in manufacturing, trade, and real estate sectors, this could be pivotal for green innovation. We came up with a raft of recommendations. I'll just highlight them at a high level, that banks should lead the way as market makers in issuing and facilitating issuance of market instruments and providing private sector capital to deal with the ESG priorities. And there's need for a robust approach to developing policy and regulatory frameworks and aligning these frameworks to ensure that the financial landscape is evolving. Then the industry needs to move towards standardization and convergence of sustainability reporting led by the regulators, including the central bank. This will be very important, as I have mentioned, for purposes of comparability. Then other banks should align their portfolios, businesses and strategies with the Paris Agreement, including making sure that the opportunities that are created around this for low carbon transition are considered. Then on data correction, which was found to be a key hindrance in quality reporting, banks must be able to correct, analyze, and report on various sector data points. In the report, you will see we tried as much as possible to present the data in terms of sectors, but there was a huge hindrance in terms of the data coming from that point. And of course, to sustain disclosure of quality, data banks will need to invest in better systems, assign people raise awareness, like what KBA is already doing within their client base, and build capacities and expertise on sustainable finance and reporting thereabout. Then finally, there is need to lobby for consistent tax incentives for sustainable investment. Glad that the government is here for funding the transition to a sustainable economy. And we have mentioned some of these in our report. So in a nutshell, that is what we found out in our report. You can get some time to read through the report. So with that, I will usher in for the next session to launch the report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Njoroge. So I would request if you make it center stage, and a few people are actually going to join you. I request for Mr. Rodney Omari to kindly join him on stage, as well as the WWF Kenya Head of Conservation, Mr. Jackson Kiplagat, if you can also join, thank you. KBA Vice Chair, Madam Betty Korir, also join us on stage, thank you. And Acting CEO, Mr. Raymond Molenje, as we commemorate this occasion. Very important, the team that wrote the report. If you're in the room, kindly make your way on stage as well. Recognize your hard work in this process. Very important metrics going into what could be some of the challenges on the sustainability journey for many banking institutions. If you are in the room and you are a part of this report, kindly make your way on stage. Photographers, are we happy with the positioning? I believe we have a report as well that we'll have to share with the team. And we can have it on. Okay, so I understand we have a bit of mechanics going. So if we can make room for the stand behind you, we have a bit of a show for you. So if you can help me count down, that'd be great. All right. So we'll count down from 5. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. There we are, the official unveiling of the landscape of sustainable finance in Kenya's banking industry. So much. One last shot for the photographers. Great. And one last round of applause. And you may take your seats. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Dr. Njoroge and the team as well for putting this together. Thank you. Wonderful. So at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to move into the Catalyst Awards. I've had the pleasure of hosting this momentous occasion before. It's always exciting to see what the banks are doing in the sustainability finance space. And it's a great way to measure on how well your competitors are doing. So this has been a journey KBA has been on since 2016. And of course, it's a unique opportunity to showcase industry leadership and example as well. We have 9 categories to get through. So how we're going to do this, we'll call some key guests up on stage per category. There's 3 banks that we will be honoring, first, second, and third place. So once you see your banking institution projected on the screen, you will come up on stage, you'll get a certificate, photo, no acceptance speech. Unfortunately, we do not have time. And then you may take your seats. But before we get into the awards, there is a request to have a tea break, stretch our legs a bit, get the blood flowing, right? All right, so we have coffee and tea just outside. Let's take about 10 minutes for that and then head back into the room if that's okay. And then we can begin with the Catalyst Awards. Thank you so much.
Give me some time, baby. I've been at war with myself up in the middle of midnight. Hlutshwazini ngazami, they won't be the death of me. They say you get what you paid for. Kusemhlabeni lana, ain't nothing for my heart. But love is for abo bafuna ukuphila. Ain't nothing wrong with trying. We were born to be free, won't judge you. Look in the mirror, ilanga likhanya kuwe, and that is for my heart. Yeah. Oh, love is for, 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 oh, love is for my heart. See, better days are coming. I'm back on it, babe. If you're still alive, you got another chance, so try. Police, if you see on your face, I'm a pooper. One day, soliboni lana kanya manchi sulela. And love is for abo bafuna ukukhula. Yeah, we gon' keep on trying. Man, we all gonna be free, free flow from all of this darkness. Ilanga likhanya kuthi, and that is all mahala, mahala. Oh, love is for, 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 oh, love is for my heart.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for your patience. We are just about to get into the Catalyst Awards 2024. An exciting portion of the program as we recognize the banks that have made strides in advancing sustainable practices in their businesses. So we're going to begin with the first category, which is Best in Sustainable Finance. And as we do that, I'd like to call on Mr. Rodney Omari, our chief guest, to join me on stage kindly, as well as Raymond Molenje, CEO as well, and Bernard Kiragu, one of the judges in this process, to also join me on stage. Thank you so much. So just to give you a bit of background on this particular category, this award recognized banks for their commendable progress in balancing their quest for financial returns with the diverse priorities within economic, social, and environmental contexts. In addition, the firms were awarded for their efforts in upholding responsible corporate behavior to avoid reputational risk emanating from poor governance. We have 3 winners in this particular category, and I'd ask our CEO our judge, Mr. Bernard, to give the 3rd place winner the award, which is, drum roll please. Let's have it. There it is, NCBA Bank. Congratulations. Come up on stage to receive your certificate. Well done. Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations to the team at NCBA Bank. Fantastic. All right, let's get everyone center stage as we take the photo. Congratulations once again, NCBA. Fantastic. Let's give them one more round of applause. NCBA Bank, congratulations, 3rd place in the Best in Sustainable Finance category. Wonderful, well done. You may take your seats. Thank you. All right, calling on our CEO, Raymond, to give our 2nd place winner their certificate in the Best in Sustainable Finance category, and that is, drum roll, Absa Bank. Congratulations. Congratulations, Absa. Make your way up on stage. Well done. Fantastic as the Absa team comes up on stage. Good job, great effort, getting you in 2nd place in the Best in Sustainable Finance category. Wonderful. Congratulations are in order once again. Thank you, Absa. You may take your seats. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest, if you can position yourself center stage, as we recognize the winner of this particular category, and it is KCB Bank. Congratulations. Well deserved. Wow. It's a beautiful trophy. Fantastic. If we can shift center stage, please. A little more to the left so we can get everyone in on that shot. Wonderful. We need to get Bernard in the shot as well. He was critical in this process. Great. Thank you so much. One more round of applause for KCB, the winners of the Best in Sustainable Finance. Mr. CEO, I request if you stay on stage, as well as our chief guest, please remain on stage. Bernard, you may take your seat. Thank you. And joining them on stage, I'm calling on Mr. Jackson Kiplagat, WWF Kenya, Head of Conservation, to join them. Thank you so much. We're moving into the second category. Best in Case Study in Financing Small and Medium Enterprises. And this particular award recognized banks that created long-term value through financing SMEs who operate in green growth activities. And in third place, we have Citian Bank. Congratulations. Wonderful, great work, Citian. Let's give them one more round of applause. Congratulations. Job well done, Citian Bank. You may take your seats. Mr. CEO, thank you so much. Moving on to second place, and that goes to National Bank. Congratulations. Second place in Best in Financing SMEs. Do we have a representative from National Bank? Going once, going twice. Oh, there we are. Congratulations. Wonderful. Let's give them a round of applause. Best Case Study Financing SMEs in the second category, National Bank. Great. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. And now to the first place winner in this particular category. Our chief guest, kindly make your way center stage, Co-op Bank. Congratulations, Co-op Bank. There they are. Well done. Top performers in the client case study for Best in Financing SMEs. Co-op Bank, congratulations. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. Want a CEO? Kindly keep on stage with me. Our chief guest, you may take a break. You can have your seat. Thank you so much. And Mr. Kiplagat, thank you as well. Joining our CEO on stage, I'd like to call on John Nganga from Finance in Motion to also join if you are in the building or the room. Fantastic. And I beg your pardon, Mr. Kiplagat, once more, if you can join us on stage. Thank you. This particular category, we're looking at client case study financing a commercial client. Now, this award recognized how shortlisted banks finance commercial clients' business operations, projects, or investments. As a result, in the long-term value was created in leading to growth, efficiency, innovation, and expansions to new markets for commercial clients. In third place in this particular category, Stanbic Bank. Congratulations. Make your way up on stage. Well done. Thank you so much, Mr. Nganga, for handing over the certificates to Stanbic. Third place winners in this particular category. Wonderful. All smiles, well-deserved. Job well done. One more round of applause for Stanbic. You may take your seats. Moving on to our second place winner, Mr. Kiplagat, if you can kindly make your way center stage. And in second place, KCB, once again. Congratulations. Showcasing great work in financing commercial clients. Congratulations, KCB. Wonderful, well deserved. Congratulations once again. Great, and you may take your seats. Thank you so much. And And now to the winner. First place in this category goes to Co-op Bank. Congratulations, Co-op Bank. Best case study in financing a commercial client. Great. Well deserved. Great example as well to fellow industry players. Wonderful. Thank you. You may take your seats. Thank you so much, Mr. Nganga. Mr. Kiplangat, you may take your seats. Bwana CEO, kindly remain on stage with me. Calling on WWF Kenya Regional Coordinator Christine Wanjiku, if you are in the room, as well as GIZ's Program Manager Sustainable Agriculture, Dr. Sophia Bomart, if you are also in the room. Okay, I'll call on Christine Onyango from KBA to join me, as well as Sam. Oh, I can see him coming up. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Moving on to our next category, case study, Best in Bank Operations. Now, this particular award recognizes participating banks on their commitment and investment in ensuring optimal management of financial resources and natural capital through productivity programs and efficient utilization of operational resources and energy such as paper, water, as well as waste management, including electronic waste. Shall we have a look at the winners in this particular category? Well, third place, I&M Bank. I&M Bank, congratulations. Third place in bank operations performance. Wonderful, I&M Bank. All smiles. Congratulations and job well done. Wonderful. You may take your seats. Thank you so much. Moving on to second place. And that goes to Co-op Bank. Congratulations once again, Co-op. Wonderful. Congratulations and job well done to the team. Wonderful. Let's give them one last round of applause. Great. You may take your seats. And now looking at the winner in the case study, Best in Bank Operations, goes to DTB. Fantastic. DTB, job well done. And well deserved as well. Fantastic. This is your moment. Well deserved. Congratulations. Thank you so much. DTB, you may take your seats. Thank you as well to Christine and WWF Kenya. Wonderful. We're moving on to our next category, which is Bank Case Study, Best in Promoting Gender Inclusivity. I'd like to call on Christine once again, I beg your pardon, and Dr. Samuel Tiriongo from KBA to also join on stage as we honor the next category of winners. And this category recognizes banks for their strides in encouraging women to be formally included in the financial services sector, creating opportunities for their female employees to take up leadership roles, and development of products geared towards empowering female entrepreneurs. Let's take a look at the winners in this category. Third place goes to Co-op Bank. Wow. Congratulations. Performing quite well in quite a few categories. Cooperative Bank. Great example. Wonderful. All smiles as we get center stage. Great. You may take your seats, Co-op Bank. Thank you so much. Moving now to second place winner in this category, and that goes to KWFT. Congratulations. KWFT, make your way up on stage. Second place in promoting gender inclusivity. Well deserved. Congratulations. Good job. Wonderful. And ably represented by 3 women employees. Wonderful. It's a good example. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. And now let's have a look at the winner in promoting gender inclusivity, and that goes to KCB Bank. Congratulations, KCB. Fantastic. Certainly leading by example. Wonderful. Can move forward a bit? You can move forward. Fantastic. Great. Are we positioned well? Wonderful. All smiles. Congratulations once again, KCB Bank, in promoting gender inclusivity. Thank you. Christine and Sam, you may take your seats. Thank you so much. Moving on to our next category, I'd like to call on our chief guest, Mr. Omari, to join me on stage once again, and Rose Lumumba from IFC to also join me on stage. Now, this particular category looks at banks that sought to recognize firms that have enhanced their service delivery and product features to cater to persons living with disabilities. Participating banks are encouraged to demonstrate how they have implemented PWD inclusion initiatives. Let's take a look at third place winner, DIB Bank Kenya. Congratulations. Congratulations, showcasing how they have aligned their international best practices in implementing PWD inclusive policy. Congratulations, DIB Bank. All right. Everyone in frame. Wonderful. Congratulations once again. You may take your seats. All right, let's have a look at the second place winner. It's a tie, Co-op Bank and ABSA. Congratulations. Kindly make your way up, Corporate Bank and ABSA Bank. Congratulations. Make sure we have both teams on stage. So this is Co-op Bank. Congratulations. Wonderful. Let's give them a round of applause. Well done. Well done. Fantastic. And then we'll have the ABSA Kenya team join. Congratulations. Wonderful. Well deserved. Second place tie between Co-op Bank and ABSA Bank in promoting people living with disabilities, accessibility policies. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You may take your seats. Let's have a look at the winner. KCB Bank. Congratulations. And a wonderful, wonderful example to the rest of the industry. accessibility for people living with disabilities. Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful. Great, all smiles. Fantastic, you may take your seats. Thank you so much, KCB Bank, and congratulations are in order. Moving on to our next category. Thank you so much, our chief guest, and Rose, you may take your seats. I'd like to call on Mr. Kiplangat as well to join us on stage. And Sophia Bomart, if you are here. Okay, I think Christine will have to join us once again for this particular category. All right, this particular award recognized banks for their utilization of technology to reach untapped and marginalized market segments. It also focused on ways firms have innovated and enhanced their service delivery to customers. So let's take a look at the winners in this particular category. Third place, most innovative bank goes to I&M Bank. Congratulations, team. Make your way up on stage. Well done, well done. They've ably demonstrated their most innovative products and mode of service delivery, enhancing productivity and efficiency. Congratulations once again, I&M Bank. Third place in most innovative bank. Fantastic. You may take your seats. Thank you so much. Let's have a look at second place winner in most innovative bank. Equity Bank. Congratulations. Fantastic, fantastic work, Equity. Wonderful, well-deserved, Equity Bank. Great job. Wonderful, and you may take your seat. And now to the winners, plural, in this particular category. First place goes to Co-op Bank and Absa Bank. Congratulations. Co-op Bank, Absa Bank as well. Most innovative banks in this particular category. Job well done. Fantastic. That's the Absa team. Great. You may take your seat. Co-op Bank. Co-op Bank team, kindly make your way up on stage. Well deserved. Wonderful. Congratulations once again to Co-op Bank and Absa Bank, most innovative banks in this particular category. Wonderful. One last round of applause for our winners, Absa and Co-op Bank. All right, now moving to our second last category of most improved. To join our CEO on stage, Vimal Sharma of FSD Africa, if you can kindly make your way up, as well as our chief guest, Mr. Omari. Thank you so much. Now, in this particular category, this award recognized banks for their commendable progress, improving their entries in comparison to previous years, hence most improved. Let's take a look at the winners. Third place goes to Credit Bank. Congratulations. Make your way up on stage. Credit Bank. Third place in most improved category. Wonderful. may take your seats. Thank you so much. Let's now have a look at second place in most improved. DTB, Diamond Trust Bank. Kindly make your way up on stage. Congratulations. Well done. In one-upping yourself from previous years, DTB Bank, congratulations once again. Thank you so much. And you may take your seats. Congratulations. All right. And now our first place winner in most improved bank goes to DIB Bank Kenya. Wow. Congratulations. Well done, DIB Bank. Let's get you center stage as you receive your trophy.